Hey, it's Bruce from TPC. I am here today with young Burt Reynolds. You just get done filming Smokey and the Bandit?
Breaker.
All right, no, but this is Justin England. He is one of our lead buyers. He's a former pro roadie. He is also a lot like my dad. He'd never ask for directions, always getting lost, which is why you love...
Sometimes getting lost.
Always. This is why you love GPS head units, right?
Yeah, always can find my way home.
Yeah, and today Justin brought us the new Garmin Edge head units. These are pretty exciting. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Yeah, so the Edge lineup is, of course, Garmin's cycling computer lineup. Last June, they released their 1040, which is the flagship, the top of the line model. We have here the 1040 Solar version. The big introduction last summer was inclusion of solar technology. So they use a solar glass that actually can capture some of your battery life while you're out riding. This year, they've introduced the 840 and the 540, and that technology has trickled down to the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, and I used the 1040 Solar at Unbound Gravel last year. I was out there for a really long time. I barely lost any charge. It was really amazing how long the batteries last on these new solar models.
It makes a ton of sense. You know, your computer's sitting there on your stem, just baking in the sun. It's a great spot to capture back battery life.
Yeah, and I mean, even just alone, the battery life is pretty amazing. It's over 30 hours, I believe.
Yep, 32 hours for both the 540 and the 840, 40 hours for the 1040.
But it gets even crazier if you go into battery save mode.
Yep, it's 60 hours for the 540 and 840 and 100 hours for the 1040.
That is pretty impressive. And the solar technology, it recaptures about 25 minutes of battery life for every hour it's sitting out in the sun.
Yep.
That's just so cool to me. Especially, you know, you're the type of person who stresses out when like your phone's dying, something is dying, like that stuff, it feels good.
Or if you're just lazy about charging your computer.
I can go, weeks without charging one, which is pretty amazing. But that's not all. There are a bunch of new features on these new Edge head units. I think one that I'm really excited about as like a tech geek is that they all use USB-C charging now.
Love it.
Yeah,
one charging cable.
One charging cable for all my devices. That's super cool. And then also, you were telling me they have a multi-band GPS/GNSS.
It's a bunch of acronyms there, but really what it means that in urban areas, in the mountains, in even densely forested areas, when you're under the canopy, you get reliable, accurate location data.
So my Strava KOMs are legit then?
They're gonna be legit.
Totally, awesome.
Even though you're using an e-bike.
But the other thing too, I think other than the solar charging that is a huge change is the massive amount of software features that these new Edge head units add.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, you were showing me the list and literally it's way too many to list in this video, like it'd be way too long. So I picked out a couple of my favorites. I really like Climb Pro with the Garmin head units. You know, if you don't know Climb Pro, it shows you the elevation profile of the climb you're on. So it really lets you pace properly. It lets you know when there's false flats. It lets you know where the summit is, which is really nice. But now this is called Freeride Climb Pro on these Edge head units, which means you don't have to be on a pre-uploaded route or course for the Climb Pro to show up. It just shows up whenever you're on a climb.
It knows exactly where you are.
Yeah, which is really cool. You can flick it off if you want it, if you don't want to see it, but I really like it, you know. And then also there's this Climb Explorer.
Right.
So if you're riding someplace you've never been before, you can find climbs. It'll just like be like, oh, there's one right there, and you can go torch your legs. I like doing that, yeah.
Pretty handy. For me, I really like the training status 2.0 and the suggested workouts. Training status is one of the features of a lot of Garmin products where it kind of is in tune with your biometric data and gives you suggested workouts based on how recovered you are and what your fitness level is.
So basically, it could be your coach.
It can be your coach right on your handlebar.
Yeah, I just have to listen, which I don't. No. But then there's this other thing, and I want to mention this because I think it's really handy. You can customize the data screens with the app on your smartphone.
Yep.
Which I know Wahoo's had this. I used to ride a Bolt, but Garmin has this now. It's really nice because I can like...
You can pick and choose which fields you want to be shown while you're riding.
Can like, you know, I want to change something. I just customize it on my phone right away. I don't have to like, you know, press buttons for like 20 minutes trying to figure it out. Yeah, so that's really nice. So we have these three head units, the 1040, the 840, and the 540 Solar. They obviously come at a few different price points. What are we looking at for each one?
The 1040 Solar is going to be $750. The 840 is $550, and the 540 is $450.
Okay.
But of course, each one of these also comes in a non-solar version, which is roughly 100 to 150 bucks less.
Okay, that's great. So you have an option if you don't need the luxury of a solar head unit.
Still fantastic battery life, and of course, all the same features as the solar versions.
Yeah. How do you choose between the three? Obviously, I mean, this one, the 1040, is the biggest one, right?
Yep, it's got the biggest screen. For my old eyes, that's the way to go. But beyond that, it's touchscreen only. It has a power button. Everything else is touchscreen. The 840 solar is also touchscreen, also has buttons, so you, regardless of how you want to interface with the computer, you can do it there. And then the 540 only has buttons. It does not have a touchscreen.
Right, and I should say the touchscreen is pretty nice. I just bought a 540 for myself, so that's actually the one I'm actually running. Coming from Wahoo, I've gotten pretty confused, pressing the wrong buttons over and over again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, maybe I should have gotten the touchscreen.
touchscreen.
But I did save about 100 bucks.
Yep.
So worth it to me.
Yep.
Yeah, what about you? What one did you go with?
I'm going with the 1040 solar. I love that huge screen out in front of me. I can see clearly where I'm going. I can input exactly the data fields I want to look at. That's one for me.
Nice. All right, well, if you're interested in any of these new Garmin Edge solar head units, they're all available at our website, www.tpc.bike. So be sure to check that out. We have those and a lot more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't get lost out there. You have GPS now. You don't have to. We'll see you next time.